Changing life of tribal communities. The Turks, Afghans, and Mongols had their own customs, tradition, value system, etc. These were different form of customs and practices prevalent in India at that time. The new and the existing practices merged and brought about many changes in the social life of the people on the subcontinent. Some of these changes were new social classes and caste emerged. The position of women also changed with the new social order. Changes in the lives of tribal groups. Changes in the society. During the early medieval period, 800 to 1200 CE, the caste system continued to be rigid with four main castes: Brahmins, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, and Shudra. The position of women declined and they were subjected to evil practices such as sati, johar, child marriages, and polygamy. However, some women, especially in South India, were educated in various branches of learning and fine arts. During the Sultanate period 1206 to 1526 CE, the society was characterized by the segregation of two dominant communities, Muslims and Hindu. The caste system was rigid and rules were strictly followed, especially in marriages and socializing. Social evils such as Parda system and sati were widely prevalent during the Sultanate period. Under the Mughals, 1516 to 1707 CE, the ruling class, nobility, and official enjoyed privilege and led luxurious lives. Women continued to suffer from social evils. Tribes, nomads, and itinerant groups. Tribes, nomads, and itinerant groups. A tribe is a social group existing before the development of or outside of a state. Some scholars have used the term to signify an ethnic group that was not organized around the urban centers. Nomads and itinerant groups are communities of people that move with cattle from one place to another rather than settle down permanently in one location. Many cultures have been traditionally nomadic, but traditional nomadic behavior is increasingly rare in industrialized countries. There are three kinds of nomads: hunter gatherers, moving between hunting grounds, pastoral nomads, moving between pastures, and peripatetic nomads, offering their skills and crafts. The term nomads and itinerant communities are often used interchangeably. State formation in tribal societies. Indian tribals are called Adivasis, meaning original inhabitants. They are also called Atavika, forest dwellers, Vanvasis, or Girijans, hill people. In the medieval period, tribals and nomads formed a sizable part of the population. Some of these tribal groups came in contact with the new developments in medieval Indian society. Gradually, they changed their lifestyle, began to lead a settled life, and adopted new agricultural techniques. Some tribal groups also gained political and economic power. They had control over key trade routes and forest resources. The gonds and ahomes were two such powerful tribal groups. The gonds. The Gonds, numbering about 4 million, are the largest ethnic group in central India. Gondwana, or the land of Gonds, is the loosely defined area of southeastern Madhya Pradesh, eastern Maharashtra, and part of Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and northern Andhra Pradesh. The region was home to several Gond kingdoms from the 15th century to the mid 18th century. Ruins of forts of Gond rulers who ruled during the 13th and 14th centuries have been found. They expanded their kingdom through matrimonial alliances with each other. The Gond are predominantly Hindus and speak a Dravidian language. They are mainly organized into tribes and live in small villages. Social structure and the belief. Gond society is very structured, unlike other tribal groups in which egalitarianism, eg- egali- egalitarianism, equality is common. They generally led simple lives. Their houses are plain and also have cattle sheds. They are traditionally agriculturalists and practice shifting cultivation. The Gond have distinct pantheon of gods and spirits whom they worship, along with the Hindu gods and goddesses. The Akbarnama mentions that the Gond kingdom of Garha Katanga had 7,000 villages. The kingdom was divided into Gurs under the particular Gond clans. The Gurs were further divided into units of 84 villages called Chaursi, which was further subdivided into Parhods consisting of 12 villages each. Struggle between the Gond and Mughals. Amandas, who assumes the title of Sangram Shah, was the Gond Raja of Grahkatanga. His son Dalpat married Princess Durgavati, the daughter of the Chandela Rajput Raja of Mahoba. However, since Dalpat died early, Rani Durgavati started ruling on behalf of 5-year-old son Bir Naren. The Mughal forces under Ashraf Khan attacked Grahkatanga in 1565. Rani Durgavati was defeated despite strong resistance. She and her son died in an effort to save their kingdom. The Mughal captured a huge booty of precious coins and elephants from the Gond kingdom. They annexed a major part of kingdom and granted the rest to Chandra Shah, an uncle of Bir Naren. Despite the fall of Grakatanga, the Gond kingdom survived for some time. The Ahomes. The Ahoms ruled parts of present day Assam for nearly 600 years, from 1228 to 1826 CE. According to historians, the Ahom were members of the Shan tribe, an ethnic group of Southeast Asia that came to Assam after crossing the Patkai Hills in the northeast in early 30th century. The beginning. The Ahom leader Sukapa befriended the local tribes and began forming a state. He managed to establish his capital at Charaidev near present-day Sissagar in 1253 CE and started consolidating his kingdom. The Ahom kingdom grew in strength and under different rulers for the next 300 years. Suhunman, who later adopted the Hindu name of Swarga Narayan, was the most important Ahom ruler in the 60th century. The kingdom attained great heights under his leadership. The Ahom king were called Swarga Devus. They divided their kingdom into provinces under governors called Bor Borphukans. Unlike most dynasties, they did not necessarily rule from a single line. Kings are chosen from a few families that were descendants of the first Ahom king. The selection was made by a council comprising of 5 members called Patra Mantris. In times of dispute, the Patra Mantris themselves ruled. This system had several shortcomings and was reason behind the internal struggle for power in the 17th and 18th century, which eventually led to the decline of Ahom rule. Struggle with the Mughals. By the middle of 60th century, the Ahom controlled eastern Assam and the Brahmaputra Valley. After defeating the Mughals, the Ahom built a large state, and by the 1660s they could even make high quality gunpowder and cannons. In 1662, the Mughals under Mir Jumla attacked the Ahom kingdom. The Ahom were defeated despite resisting bravely. However, the Mughals could not control his region directly for a long time. Society. Ahom society was divided into clans or khels. A khel often controlled several villages. Their society consisted of the royal family, aristocracy, 4 priestly groups, and the remaining subjects. The peasant was given land by the village community. Religion. The Ahom worshipped their own tribal gods. The king granted the land to the temple, Brahmins, poets, and scholars. In 18th century, Hinduism became the main religion, but the Ahom king did not completely give up their tradition beliefs after adopting Hinduism. Puranjis. The historical Works of the Ahom were written in the Ahom language. They shed light on Ahom culture and lifestyle. End of Ahom rule. The Ahom state depended upon forced labor called pikes. Such village had to send able men by rotation. Many times people from thickly populated areas were moved to less populated places, leading to the breaking up of clans. Ahom power declined in the later half of 18th century when the Burmese army invaded the Ahom kingdom and set up a puppet Ahom king. Later, the British defeated the Burmese in the First Anglo-Burmese War. This allowed a British to convert the Ahom kingdom into a principality, which led to the end of Ahom rule.